Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today I'm here with the collection of 4 books that I finished. I'm still in Operation Stock Up Etsy store. So I took some time and I created 4 books. They're all different and they are not a certain theme. They're all different. They're called a Charming Tradition collection. The reason why I am calling it that is because it is going to follow the names of something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. And none of them have anything to do with weddings. The reason why I chose to name them that way is because it would help me pull stuff from my my stash, because I'm still using stuff just from my stash only. According to what the book was. So for something blue, I pulled out all my blue stuff, etc. So what I'm going to do is go through these books. I think I'll do 2 in a video. So something old, something new, and then something borrowed, something blue. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first book in the collection is Something Old. And the reason why I called it Something Old is because there's a lot of papers in the book that are from like 1996, 97, 98. And of course, all the laces in the book are vintage laces. And so for this book, I went with the shabby chic theme. So I'll just hold it up here so you can take a look at the cover. Lots of layering, some stamping, flowers. I coffee stained this lace. And then under it, that's what it looks like. On the side, I just covered up the stitches with some paper and some brads. And then on the back, I just did some random gessoing. I'll put all the dimensions, I guess, in the Etsy listings. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip through. A lot of sewing in this book. I sewed the burlap on. I got that from Shayna. Thank you, Shayna. Everything in here is coffee stained, and I think that this would actually be really neat because you'll be able to see the writing underneath. All of the laces are sewn onto the pages. I made some tags out of scrap cardstock. On the top I just have some muslin and fabric scraps and gold ribbon. This is one of those old papers from like 1996. I did some rufflings, fabric stacks, with some fabric washi. Made an envelope. This is another one of those old papers. Guest check and fabric in there. It's a little tuck spot right here. Made another ruffle page. I had some extra decorative paper, so I made tags out of those as well. This book has 4 signatures in it, and if I remember, each of the signatures has around, I want to say around somewhere between 8 to 10 pages. So I used this, I got this piece from Shayna, and I used it as a stencil on this page and also as a tuck spot, and I also got this from her. And this. So this piece of vellum, I just made a little pocket out of it, I sewed it. Some vintage graph paper, so that's old. And I think, I can't remember if this paper is vintage. I know that I have vintage lined paper, but I don't remember if that one is the vintage one or not. I think it is, because that's not vintage. But I guess it all looks vintage once you throw some coffee on it. I reckon it does. This is a double tuck spot. More ruffles. So the third signature, another doily from Shayna, more scraps. This one just has waffle muslin on top of it. So again, the whole reason why I'm doing all of this is because I'm trying to use up some of the stuff that's in my stash. And this is a good way to do that, I think. Like, trying to think of themes and make multiple books at once, so that I can get some of this stuff like used, because I need to get it used. I like putting my papers directly on the racks because it gives those lines. All the pages are topped with a piece of sewn on burlap, or all of the first pages of each signature. Did some stamping in here. And here's another scrap decorative paper that I had. This is the old paper also. Another tag with waffle muslin. Another one. Look how shabby chic that one is. Another fabric stack here. I know I haven't been moving the book up, but I'm trying to go kind of fast. I cut these bags with my decorative scissors. That's the end, and there's my stamp. So this one is something old. So next up on the menu is a recipe folio. I got this tutorial from Kathy Orta. I will link back to her in the description box below. This is going to be the something new of the book and the reason of the collection, and the reason why I chose something new for this is because this paper stack is a brand new paper stack that I had from Die Cuts with a View called Nana's Kitchen. And so I didn't really feel like doing a journal, recipe journal. I didn't really think a mini album would go, so I decided to do like a recipe folio. It's a Velcro closure on there. The front and back covers have 3 stacked pockets with 4x6. Well, they're photo mats, or they could be recipe cards. You could do whatever you want with them. And then here I have just a little envelope that I made with my punch board that I got from Dolly, so you can load that up with lots of goodies. And then same thing here on this larger envelope. And then on this side, or sorry, actually on the backs of the envelopes, there's tons of space where you can actually just do something, where on this one I just did a little tuck spot with some scrap cardstock and I made a tag there. And then here, these 2 envelopes are Velcro closures. So again, you could do something on the backs of these. In her tutorial she did, but I didn't. So that's that one. And then here's 2 large mats. And then there's a giant pocket here you could put stuff in. And then flipping that over, there's a piece of coffee stained paper here. And then flipping that open, there's a large mat here, and it's designed so that if you do put a picture here, you can pop it behind the Bon Appetit. And then this little piece is a pocket, so there's 2 mats in there. 2 here. There's some more matting, and then here we have some more pretty paper and a large pocket. I wrinkled this one. So here's a spare manila folder. I just cut it to make it look like a tag. And then another stacked tri pocket. And then this is a long slit pocket. And since it's so long, I think you have to just shimmy that in there. There's lots of space here. Another pocket. A couple of mats. And I'm gonna close this a little so that I can show the other side. So here we have, oops, sorry. I made this, it's kind of like a swinging folder. And then inside of it, there's just like a really lightweight This is just a paper from the collection. I just made a little like recipe journal or just some kind of little writing notebook, I guess. There's vellum stickers on the pages. Maybe if you do write recipes on here, you can write the recipe name and some of those stickers. That would be cute. There's tattered angels sprayed on here, parchment paper. It's really simple and basic. Just a little notebook, I guess. Everything's coffee stained. Some more scrap paper. And then I put it in the swinging folder backwards just because to me it's more balanced that way. So that's the other side. It's plain on the back. You can add something here. And then that paper carries over. I've just got this paper clip holding down these two mats. And then this one just is a spare cardstock that I had, and I just tucked it behind that. Excuse me. And then just like on the other side, there's a giant pocket here for you to put stuff in. And then more pockets that are stacked, and then a tag. Some more pockets, and then these just slide in and out. Same thing here, a side pocket, and then there's one long pocket here. Another pocket just like on the other side. So I'll open up the center so you can see that this is what the center looks like. So it matches here and here. And then in the very center, this is a big folder, but in front I made a little pocket so you could tuck stuff there. And then I've just got some mats, or some tags and a mat. And then in the folder part, there's a large piece of cardstock. And then just behind that is, this is an actual tag from Ranger. This is the number 12 tag, so. And then it just says homemade at the top. And I did it in gold, so you can hardly see it, but there's my stamp. And then to close this, to make sure that nothing catches, I think what you'll do is, let me think about this for a second. Because it should close up like seamlessly. So I think you do left side, right side, and then these envelopes, and then yeah, and then everything closes up smoothly. Nothing will get caught. So that's it. And as you can see, there's tons of space to still add in there. I will link both of these, something old and something new, in my description box to my Etsy shop. So I'll be back with something borrowed and something blue. So until then, toodaloo.